So, Tristan, can you tell me how old you are?
6.
6 years old? And I understand that you're very interested in dinosaurs. How long have you been interested in dinosaurs?
Well, maybe like 3, maybe, yeah, 3 years.
And how do you usually find out about dinosaurs? Like, do you watch on TV? Do you read books? Do you...
Well, like, lots of the times I read books.
Uh-huh.
Some of the times I just watch TV shows about them.
Mm-hmm. And do you talk to anybody about dinosaurs?
Not very much.
Okay. If you had to guess, how many days a week do you spend thinking about dinosaurs? How much time do you think about dinosaurs?
I don't really know.
Yeah, I guess that's good. What is it that you find most interesting about dinosaurs? Why do you think you like them so much?
I don't really know.
Okay. Do you have any friends who like dinosaurs?
I think some.
Mm-hmm. Do you ever talk to them about dinosaurs? No. So pretty much just yourself and your family?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
My name's Jonathan Wagner, and I'm a graduate student here at UT in the Department of Geosciences.
Okay. And
I'm supposed to say it's the Jackson School of Geosciences.
okay. And you have somewhat more than a passing interest in paleontology and dinosaurs?
I better. I'm pretty much banking on it for my career. So.
Okay, so talk to me a little bit about that. So when did you first kind of get interested in dinosaurs?
Well, I liked them when I was a kid, just like everybody else, and I remember all of my old dinosaur books. But I didn't carry that through most of my education. I was actually, I think, a little more interested in history through high school and into college.
Right.
And I think I actually got interested, this is one of those embarrassing things, I got interested in paleontology a bit before Jurassic Park came out, and so it's always been kind of an embarrassing situation because it was just close enough that people are suspicious, right? But I chose paleontology partly because it's like history, but it's more tangible. History, there really aren't right answers. Paleontology, there is a right answer out there somewhere, it's just we're never going to know.
So give me an idea of roughly how much of your day or average week is spent one way or another thinking about dinosaurs?
Well, right now, not very much. Right now, probably not more than an hour or two a week. Now,
well, maybe at the height then. Let's go.
When I was working on my master's thesis, which was on dinosaurs,
Okay.
It was up to 12 hours a day. Well, actually, not take that, up to 16 hours a day. And every so often I will sort of go on binges of something will catch my interest. Or last fall I delivered a presentation on dinosaurs at the national meetings, and so I had to spend several months of constant dinosaur thinking.
And by constant, what would that be in terms of kind of?
Well, I'm kind of obsessive compulsive, so by constant I usually mean constant, but except when I can calm down, have to deal with the family and stuff. But so most waking moments, especially the shower.
Do you mind if I ask you some questions now about dinosaurs? So they'll be a little specific, okay? All right. Sometimes we refer to dinosaurs as belonging to a certain kind of group. Now, do you think dinosaurs belong to the group of animals we call reptiles, amphibians, or mammals?
Well, maybe like reptiles and mammals.
Oh, okay. Reptiles and mammals? Why do you say so?
Well, because they're kind of related to birds, but they're also like reptiles.
So how how is a reptile different than a mammal?
Well, the mammal, they don't really have that much skills.
Mm-hmm. And reptiles do.
Mm.
Okay. The grouping of animals, dinosaurs belong to which group of animals? Reptiles, amphibians, or mammals?
Well, in that case, reptiles, yeah.
Okay.
There's sort of generations of ideas about how to do this, and so there was the sort of revolt against using the term reptile for a while because it was kind of a grab bag for everything all the tetrapods that weren't birds or mammals. But there is actually a natural grouping of animals that includes all of the original reptiles, and if you just throw birds back in there, you've got a valid group. So most of us these days use reptilia to mean that, but depending on what, when the source that you're dealing with kind of checked in to the story, you'll get different answers on that.
Okay. Were there any flying dinosaurs?
Like pterodactyl, Quetzalcoatlus.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Eventually, I think, well, yeah.
Okay. Okay, great. Were there any flying dinosaurs?
Yeah, I see. Here's where we get into the big deal with birds, because yeah, if we're going to stick with the standard, big birds who got big animals who got extinct at the end of the Cretaceous, no, that's the standard answer. But I mean, I'm sure that Tristan just told you that yes, and I mean, yeah, birds are flying dinosaurs. Of course, the classic old answer is pterosaurs are not dinosaurs.
But during the classic period that we think of dinosaurs as being kind of active and around, would the answer have been no?
Well, okay, when
In other words, are the only flying dinosaurs then birds?
the only flying dinosaurs that we know of were birds. There's always the possibility that along the road to birds, that some small group decided to learn how to fly, but we've got no evidence for that. So.
Great. From what you understand about dinosaurs, were most of them plant eaters, meat eaters, or did they eat both plants and meat?
I don't really know
Okay.
that question.
Okay. Okay. Did you understand the question?
Mm.
Basically what was just saying. Were most dinosaurs plant eaters or meat eaters? If you don't have any idea, that's fine.
I don't know.
Okay. As far as you know, were there more dinosaurs that were herbivores, carnivores, or omnivores?
Well,
Sheer quantity.
yeah, in terms of absolute numbers of individual animals, it would almost certainly be herbivores.
And what's the reasoning behind that?
Well, it's just basically the food chain. It's since the carnivores eat the herbivores, if there are more carnivores than herbivores, they run out of things to eat except each other.
Around how long did the dinosaurs live? Was it hundreds of years ago, or thousands of years ago, or millions of years ago, or billions of years ago?
Millions.
Millions of years ago? Do you know how many millions? About.
Like 5. I don't really know.
When did dinosaurs live? Roughly hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago, millions of years ago, or billions of years ago?
Roughly between 225 and 65 million years ago, if we're, kicking the birds out for now.
Mm-hmm. Were the largest dinosaurs meat eaters, or were they plant eaters?
Plant eaters.
The largest were plant eaters? You know that for sure? Okay, how do you know that?
Well, like in books, they say that sometimes a Parasaurus or Brachiosaurus, since they have such long necks, sometimes they might be bigger than meat eaters.
were the largest in terms of size dinosaurs, were they carnivores or herbivores?
Herbivores.
Okay, and again, is there a reasoning behind that?
You know, that's a very good question. We're not really sure what's going on with dinosaur size. In mammal communities, I really haven't actually done a survey of it, but thinking off the top of my head, that's not necessarily always the case. Or at least it's not necessarily always the case that the thing that's eating you is going to be smaller than you. But we just don't really know what's going on with that.
From what you understand, was there ever a time when dinosaurs and people existed at the same time? Like, were they alive at the same time?
Well, well,
Do you
I don't,
understand what I mean?
not
Or
very much.
when dinosaurs lived, were people there as well?
No.
No? You sure about that?
Mhm.
Okay. And why are you so sure about that?
Well, if that actually happened and all the dinos got destroyed, then they would have found human bones. And they never found human bones, only dinosaurs, or flying reptiles in the sea.
Right.
They were humans.
Okay, that's great. So, in other words, when they found the fossils, they never found human fossils next to the dinosaur fossils.
Hmm.
Would you agree with that? Okay, great. Okay, so other than modern day birds, did people coexist with the dinosaurs?
Yeah, no.
In your opinion, what do you think it was that finally killed off the dinosaurs? What finally brought the dinosaurs to an end?
Well, like, maybe some people say a meteor or a volcano. Like, with a meteor, like when it hit it through, it didn't kill the dinosaurs exactly right away, but it threw so much dust into the air that it blocked the sun, and the plant life died, then the herbivores died, and the carnivores died.
Oh,
Because, like, the herbivores didn't have anything to eat, so they died out. Then the carnivores did because they didn't have anything to eat.
Mm-hmm. So it wasn't that the dinosaurs got hit by the meteor. It was more that the meteor caused the sun to get blocked out.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Are there any other ideas about why the dinosaurs eventually became extinct that you know about, other than the meteor?
Mm-mm.
Okay. No? Okay. All right. What finally killed off the dinosaurs?
It's an open question.
Best guess?
What I've been seeing from the whole asteroid thing is, I put my money on that right now. In fact, actually, some of my research has to do with whether or not dinosaur communities were sort of weakened. It's the idea that some people put out, that they were, sort of on their way to extinction or something, or there was something bad going on, and I actually don't think so. I think the sort of diversity decline at the end of the Cretaceous is artificial, and it has to do more with how we've collected the data than the data themselves. So from what I've seen, the whole bolide impact theory is the winner right now. But somebody could come up with something better.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, just briefly though, what would have that causal mechanism have been? So the meteor hits the Earth.
It hits and actually causes wildfires. Apparently, the re-entry of superheated debris, it's already really, really hot, re-enters, so it doesn't exactly cool down, and then starts wildfires in other places. Acid rain, which is I think one of the key kickers, because something's got to wipe out the oceans apparently that's the big killer in the oceans. Lack of sunlight, I don't know. I'd still like to see some better modeling on whether the whole nuclear winter scenario thing is a possibility or not. But let's see. Yeah, running out of food. I mean, you know, it is interesting that of the animals of the close relatives of the dinosaurs, the ones that went extinct, of the ones that survived, like the turtles and crocodilians and lizards, a lot of them hibernate, which is it's kind of suspicious. And you look at it in retrospect, maybe we should have thought of that a long time ago.
Whenever you guys are ready.
Okay. Stegosaurus. Styracosaurus. Protoceratops. Tyrannosaurus rex. Brachiosaurus. Ultrasaurus. Triceratops.
Now, what category is that you're making over there? That you just
That one?
Yeah.
Well, since I put Protoceratops in it, it's kind of like that they all have frills.
Giganotosaurus. I think that's all he knows.
Okay. Now, can you tell us a little bit about each of the categories that you made and what you were thinking about when you made that group?
Well, these are all sauropods,
Okay.
and
What type of dinosaur is that? I really
Sauropods?
Yeah.
oh, they're like those dinosaurs over there that we drew.
Okay. Are they plant eaters?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Are they big or small?
Really big.
Really big. Okay, so you would call that category maybe really big plant eaters. Would you agree with? Is that okay?
I think so.
Okay. All right. And what group is that you have in your hand now?
Well, this one, well, it's kind of like all the meat eaters.
Okay. So carnivores?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Big carnivores or just carnivores?
Carnivores.
Okay. All right, good. Okay. Were there any in that category? Yeah,
This
what was
one?
that? Yeah. That looked pretty interesting.
Well, it's kind of like since Protoceratops, it doesn't have any horns, and the rest of them do.
Okay.
It's the frills. All of them have frills. They're in
Okay.
the same type.
Frills on their head? On the back
Yeah.
of their head? Okay.
And I don't really know this one.
Okay.
Mine, Tony.
That's fine. So maybe the best thing is just to kind of say its name and then...
Sauroposeidon, that's all.
just
Relatively new sauropod, I believe. I'm a little out of, Carcharodontosaurus, theropod, Argentinosaurus, I can never pronounce that. Quincealensis, that's another big sauropod. Saltopus. I think Saltopus is a crocodilian. I'm trying to remember. Or am I thinking of Saltopasuchus? All right, I'm confused. Hylosaurus, Ankylosaur, Tyrannosaurus rex, Ultrasaurus, supposedly a brachiosaurid, Brachiosaurus, Edmontonia. Were you planning on having any hadrosaurs in this? Because if there are no hadrosaurs in it, it's not worth doing.
Okay.
Edmontonia, Compsognathus, Sauropelta. Yeah, there's definitely a ankylosaur bias in this. So I neglected doing any like really highly detailed taxonomic sorting over there. At this point, I would usually look up and make sure, because it's been so long, whether Saltopus is.
If you feel comfortable just leaving that one.
Yeah,
out
I'm
for
just
now,
gonna
that's fine.
throw it over there. But I've got the theropods over here, and I'd probably do this. These would be the avatheropods, and these would be the well, who knows.
So maybe
outside
just a
of-
more general term for the
Avatheropods.
Yeah.
Well, they're
Late-
in this case these are actually all Coelurosaurs. So those would all be from Coelurosauria, and these would not be. These two are Carcharodontosaurids, and no one really knows where Spinosaurus fits. And then I've got my sauropods here. I'm not bothering with a Sauriscia because I'm not entirely sure it really exists. Don't quote me on that. But I've got my Diplodocus, my supposed Brachiosaurids, and my Titanosaurs. And that's a technical taxonomic term. Yeah. And Stegosaurus, and then my Ankylosaurus, which I haven't sorted again because I'm not really fond of the taxonomic arrangement in there. I don't think there's much to it. And then the Ceratopsians.
So you're pretty comfortable with this sorting?
Yeah.
All right. I'd just like you to talk about what you notice in the picture.
I don't really know.
Yeah, I guess that's good. And if you don't have any idea, that's fine.
I don't know.
Okay.
Well, it's a caudal vertebra, I'm pretty sure. My guess is it's probably a dinosaur. My gut says hadrosaur. But I don't know. It's really hard to tell caudals apart. If it is a hadrosaur, it's got some awfully big neural spines. It might be a sauropod. I'm not very good at those, and the two do get confused. There's something weird going on down here at the bottom. That's a facet for the hemal arch, and then there's a weird spike sticking straight out of the bottom, which is funky. It's pretty badly weathered, and a lot of that weathering looks like it was pre-burial.
Can you tell us how you could tell that, or what you noticed about it?
It's the cracking in there that it just looks pre-burial. I could probably give you a better explanation later. Some of these cracks, like this crack right here, that really straight crack, that's when it was in the process of exhumation. But the sort of cracks that are along the grain of the bone, those are almost certainly pre-burial weathering. These ones here, I think, are pre-burial, but I'm not sure. And there's some abrasion along there on the rim of the joint capsule. I think that little process thing is weird, and I really want to know what it is. It shows up on a lot of caudal vertebrae, even on crocodilians and stuff. It has something to do with the ligaments that connect the neural spines, but I don't know. And that's a really cool tip of the spine there. They frequently get kind of roughened on the edge there, and there's apical ligaments that connect the tips of the spines, but that just looks really cool. This is a big one too. Let's see. Yeah, it's fairly big. You can tell a little bit based on the, I guess it could be a theropod, come to think of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Never know.
This is the last.
Oh, where'd you get this? That is the pubis of a hadrosaur. That is, let's see, let's see, how big is that knife? About that big? Oh, that's a little one. Is that your knife?
No.
Just get it off the website?
Yep, I did.
Damn. What website do you?
I'll send it to you.
Please do.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, that's, that is, let me see, I think that's a lateral view, so that would, no, where's the ridge? There's an acetabular ridge there that is on the outside, I think, so that should actually be a right. It's easier for me to tell what bone it is than to tell my left from my right. I actually, you came to the right person. I've just finished co-writing what is really not the book on Hadrosaur postcrania. This is almost certainly a Lamasaurian, so those are the hollow-crested hadrosaurs like Parasaurolophus, the big trombone on its head. That's probable. It's not guaranteed. Geez, I think we decided you can't tell much more than that.
That's great.
But you can see, I mean, it's nice. You got the little, that little nub is where the original pubis is pretty much a little nubbin in these guys. It would have gone about there. And this is an elaboration of a knob on the front of the pubis. It kind of sat in front of the pelvis like two paddles. And it's been suggested, I kind of like this suggestion, that these kind of operated like bellows to help breathe, the animal breathe like that. And they are kind of flexible at the base. So I think that's a reasonable guess. And if you want, you can see these cracks right here. Nice. Mm-hmm. They're not necessarily straight, but you can see they cut across. The bone grain would have been going like this. And that's post burial. That's basically weathering. You know, the clay around it shrinks and swells, and so you get like little miniature faults going through it. Basically, that's what those are. That's a really nice bone too.